107.5 The Game Podcasting is sponsored by Modern Exterminating, a family-oriented company. Professional, honest, and dependable pest control solutions. We're your one-stop shop for all pests.
Maybe Jeff Collins and his importance to South Carolina this year are kind of irrelevant, but things like Nyck Harbor and him stepping up as wide receiver one, that is important.
We shouldn't have to talk about Jeff Collins when the season actually starts. Like, that should be, again, like Shula last year, he was, your quarterback's coach. He was one-on-one with Sellers. That made a difference. That was important. But, again, Collins, I don't know if he's going to be on the sideline or wherever he is. He shouldn't be a topic of conversation when the season does start.
No, you're right. But it is talking season, and we pick and choose and find every little thing to talk about. But things that are actually important is like a wide receiver one stepping up. Nyck Harbor, again, as I just said, I think I've been hesitant. To specifically look at him and go, all right, man, it's time. I think because of my understanding of his recruitment, my understanding of him being a great athlete, not a great football player, I was always very hesitant to do that. I think I'm going to come around. I'm going to change myself this month and look at Nyck Harbor. And the fact that you mentioned it, too, and I love that. I love the fact about it, and that Mike Furry mentioned it. Hey, this and Mike Shula, dude's carrying himself a little bit different.
Yep.
And you mentioned it. There's an ego there. Good. Wide receivers need egos.
The best wide receivers have egos.
That's right. This is turning into my favorite game of opening weekend. Like, yeah, South Carolina, Virginia Tech, great. I'm thrilled because of obvious reasons. Ohio State, Texas is going to be great. Noon game. I want to see if Florida State is anywhere near back. If Thomas Castellano can if his mouth is writing a check, his rear end can cash. This LSU Clemson at Memorial Stadium on Saturday night, and you got Brian Kelly now fanning the flames. TJ Parker, by the way, came back last week. Defensive end and a first-round draft pick for Clemson, basically saying, all right, we'll let the talking be done on the field.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything inflammatory, but he also didn't just shove it aside. This is going to be fun.
Well, and you add in the fact that, LSU's not won an opener since 2019, the year they won the national championship with Ed Orgeron. Brian Kelly had his famous meltdown after last year's game against Southern Cal where he's beating on the desk and says, it happens again. It feels like, as talented as LSU is, and a lot of people picking them as a playoff team and all that kind of stuff, you feel like something's going to explode at some point this year. And if they lose that game to Clemson in week number one, especially if it's by a couple touchdowns or something like that, the vitriol in Baton Rouge is going to be nuclear. Again, he's got a high buyout. He's not going to get fired right away, but it's going to start getting uncomfortable around there. Like, hey, man, that's a playoff team, a national championship level team on the other side. Why aren't you competitive against them? There's going to be it's going to be interesting to see the fallout if they're able to lose that. And the other side of things, if they handle Clemson, it's like, well, this was a Clemson team that we thought was national championship level this year with all they got coming back. And, Dabo investing in high school recruiting and not, buying into the portal until this past offseason. And again, you give him credit because he built a really strong team, in the process of that. But it seems like an all-in to win kind of year. And losing a game now doesn't mean nearly as much as it used to. But again, if they're not looking competitive in week number one, what does that mean for them?
I just love that we got a little trash talk going on here. That Brian Kelly, Dabo normally will stay out of this, but he can be suckered in. He can be pulled in.
If you poke him enough.
And that's what I feel like we're about to get, is that Brian Kelly has poked the bear. And that somewhere along the line, this week or next, Dabo's going to come back and have some say. Dabo has no problem.
Sure.
I've talked to enough people. There was a genuine, I think hatred might be the right word, between Dabo and Will Muschamp.
Yes.
But there was a healthy respect, and Dabo and Steve Spurrier kind of understood a little bit of back and forth.
Yeah.
Was good for the rivalry.
Sure. It's the quotes. It gets people talking, gets a lot of buzz around the game. It makes a lot of sense. And, Dabo at Media Days last week said, I didn't hear anything about that, whatever, and kind of shot it down, didn't play into it. But if Brian Kelly keeps poking the bear, we'll hear from him.